Hello guys, how are you today? So today I'm gonna be explaining the Math AMS of term 2 week 0. It's the same as the Math AMS of week 11. Okay, so if you open the STP you're not gonna find it, okay? But I opened the week 11 AMS quiz and I'm gonna solve it right now. So consider the function f given by y equals fx equal 4x squared minus 3x cubed. Which of the following is true about its graph? So here, when they ask us decreases, increases, tends to, blah, 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 all of this, what we need to focus on is the highest exponent. So you always take the highest exponent, which in our scenario is minus 3x to the power of 3. Perfect. Now what do? Now we need to read our options. We have it tends to, increases, decreases, increases, decreases. When we say it tends to 0, that means when we substitute 0, it's supposed to give us an answer of infinity. For sure not. That means anything with the answer tends to is wrong. Now, we're left with increases, decreases, and just increases, decreases. If we are saying decreases, what does this mean? By the way, this is not the answer key. This is just any answer I put. When we say decreases, this means that we are choosing minus infinity. If I substituted minus infinity in my equation over here, I would get my answer to be plus infinity. So it decreases without bounds as x approaches plus infinity. Then it increases without bounds. What does this mean? This means I need to substitute plus, because increases means plus infinity, in the original equation. So minus 3 plus infinity to the power of 3. This will give me minus infinity. That means it increases without bounds. Sorry, wrong option. It increases without bounds, okay, as x approaches negative infinity. So if you check the answer key, it decreases plus infinity, it increases negative infinity. So this is how we solve the first question. We'll move on to the next question, question number 2. Which of the following is true about the given function? Here, what do we need to do? We need to find the asymptotes. First of all, we check. We have numerator, denominator. What are our conditions? If the numerator is equal to the denominator, then we will have a horizontal. Like here, when we're talking about numerator and denominator, we're talking about exponents. If the exponent of numerator is equal to the exponent of denominator, then we'll have a horizontal asymptote where it's gonna be a over b. Vertical is always what? Vertical is always the denominator equals to 0. If our numerator is equal to our denominator plus 1, then directly we have an oblique asymptote, meaning we need to do the long division. And then last but not least, if our numerator is smaller than our denominator, then directly we have a horizontal asymptote, which is y is equal to 0. And our vertical asymptote for sure is going to be what? It's going to be the denominator equal to 0. So we look at what we have over here. The highest exponent is 1, highest exponent is 2. So the numerator is less than the denominator. What does this mean? This means directly we say that horizontal asymptote y is equal to 0. And then the vertical asymptote, we have x is equal to 8, x is equal to minus 8. Why did we get 8 and minus 8? Because we take our denominator, x squared minus 64, we make it equal to 0, x squared equals 64, and then x is equal to plus and minus 8, my bad. So this is how we answered question number 2. We'll move on to question number 3. Okay, the figure above shows the graph of a cubic function f. Which of the following would be the equation of this function where k is a constant? Very simply, look what we need to do. We need to look at our graph and we see this point over here. This point is our what? This is our x-intercept. What does this mean? This means when my y is equal to 0, my value for x is going to be this, which is what? Which is minus 3. So I need to look at all of my options and I need to find where it gives me minus 3. And minus 3 is my only option. If you look at the graph, we don't have any other x-intercepts. So it's only going to be minus 3. So I'm going to look and I'm going to find only the places where they give me minus 3. Here, you solve it equal to 0. You get x is equal to minus 3. Here, x is equal to minus 3 and x squared is equal to minus 9. You can't solve it, so you take it out. Here, x is equal to plus 3. No, we don't want plus 3. Here also x is equal to plus 3. We also don't want plus 3. So you cancel these out. You're left with this one and this one. Now we directly choose this one. Why is that? Because this, as you can see, it's to the power of 3. It's a cubic function. When we're talking about a cubic function, that means we should have at minus 3, we should have a stationary point, meaning it barely passes, it barely touches. We don't have a stationary point. We have that it passes through minus 3. What does this mean? This means it cannot be a cubic function. So that leaves us with the only option being what? Being fx is equal to kx plus 3 x squared plus 9. We'll move on to question number 4. Perfect. They said, given wx is the integration of 40x over 2x squared minus 1 squared dx, what's the value of w0 minus w1? So what we need to do is we need to do the integration of 40x over 2x squared minus 1 squared. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to move it up. So 40x times 2x squared minus 1 to the power of minus 2 dx. Now, next thing we're going to do is we need to get rid of the dx and we need to get rid of this. So we can say very simply 40x u to the power of minus 2 dx, we can replace it by du. Very simply, how do you replace it? It's going to be du over the derivative of u, which is whatever is the inside. So it's the derivative of this, it's 4x. Okay, that means I can substitute it over here as du over 4x. Now, what do? I cancel x and x, I cancel 4 and 4. I'm left with 10 u to the power of minus 2. Now I can integrate this. It made my life so much easier. So here you're gonna add 1 and you're gonna add minus 2 plus 1 in the bottom. So it's gonna be minus 1, minus 1. So integration minus 10 u to the power of minus 1, don't forget, plus c. Now you can substitute the value of u. It's gonna be what? Actually, no need for the integration anymore. It's gonna be what? It's gonna be minus 10 times 2x squared minus 1 to the power of minus 1 plus c. Now what do we do in this scenario? They want us to substitute 0 and 1. What do we do in this scenario? I substitute 0 one time, I substitute 1 time, and I subtract. So minus 10 times 2 times 0 squared minus 1 to the power of minus 1. What is that gonna be? That's gonna be 10 plus c. So w0 is equal to 10 plus c. w1, what is it equal to? If you substitute instead of 0, 1, you would get it to be minus 10. w1 is minus 10 plus c. I do w0 minus w1, subtract, so you'll change this sign and you'll change this sign. This c and this c cancel. Now it's going to be what? It's going to be 10 plus 10, so I will get my answer to be what? I will get my answer to be 20. We'll move on to question number 5. What does it say in question number 5? Perfect. The region bounded by the x-axis and the y-axis, or not the y-axis, and y equal blah 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 is shaded in the diagram below. Here is the important keyword. Bounded by the x-axis and y is equal to this. So how do I solve it? First of all, what I know from this is like in my graph, if you see in the graph, they gave me my boundaries. I have 1, 2, 3 boundaries. First of all, I have 2 intersection points. 1 which is on 0, 1 which is on 2. So this is my first integration from 0 till 2. Okay, integration of what? Integration of my function. So integration from 2 till 0 of my function, which is x minus x squared over 2. Now, what is my second integration of the function? It's from 2 until the boundary, which is what? Which is 3. So my second integration, which is from 2 till 3, it's going to be x minus x squared over 2. Now, how do we do this? Very simply. Don't forget always to put it in absolute value because we're taking the area, okay? When they say area, you put it in absolute value. So what do we do in this scenario? We need to find the integration and we add them. So let's take the integration of the x minus x squared over 2. First of all, we're just going to take the integration. It's going to be x over 2 squared minus x cubed over 6. So this is my integration, right? Now that I have my integration, what will I do? I will substitute 1 times 2, 1 times 0. I will subtract them and I will get my answer. If I did that, I would have 2 squared over 2 minus 2 to the power of 3 over 6. Okay, all of it is in brackets. Subtracted from 0 squared over 2 minus 0 cubed over 6, which will give me my answer, which is what? Which is 2 over 3. Plus, if I do it over here now, if I do 1 time I substitute 3 and 1 time I substitute 2, it's going to be 3 to the power of 2 over 2 minus 3 to the power of 3 over 6. And then I close my brackets. Don't forget to close your brackets, okay? What do I do now? I subtract it from 2 to the power of 2 over 2 minus 2 to the power of 3 over 6. And I close my bracket. And I will get my other answer to be what? Don't forget, of course, the absolute value. And I would get my second answer to be minus 2 over 3 in absolute value, which is what? Which is basically 2 over 3. Now, I add them together. 2 over 3 plus 2 over 3, this would give me 4 over 3. So what whole number is equal to k? The value of k is what it is, 4. We'll move on now to question number 6. What is the value of the integration of this 2 minus 2? Very simply, we're going to do the integration, right? First of all, we integrate this. It's x squared minus 15x squared dx. Okay, we don't have any to the power of anything, so I can just do a regular integration. You guys should know how to integrate by now. So it will be x 2 plus 1 over 2 plus 1 minus 15x 2 plus 1 over 2 plus 1. Sorry, this is 3 actually. 3 plus 1 over 3 plus 1. Good thing I noticed. So what would I get? I would get x to the power of 4 over 4 minus 15 over 3. That's going to be 5 x to the power of 3. So this is, after I do my integration, what I get as an answer. Now what do I do? Now that I have the value of my integration, okay, always don't forget the plus c. Good thing I just remembered. You don't forget the plus c. Now that I have the value of my integration, I'm going to substitute 2 and I'm going to substitute minus 2. So what will be my value if I substituted 2? If I substituted 2, it's 2 to the power of 4 over 4 minus 5 times 2 to the power of 3 plus c. If I substituted minus 2, what's it gonna be? It's gonna be minus 2 to the power of 4 over 4 minus 5 times minus 2 to the power of 3 plus c. And don't forget that I need to subtract them, so I need to change all of these signs. So this will become minus, this will become plus, and this will become minus, okay? Now what do? I just need to solve. So 2 to the power of 4 over 4 minus 5 to the power of, minus 5 times 2 to the power of 3, I will get minus 36 over here. And then minus 2 to the power of 4 over 4 plus 5 times minus 2 to the power of 3, I would get over here minus 44. So minus 36 minus 44, this would give me my answer, which is what? Which is minus 80. Here plus c minus c cancels, so that means my answer is going to be what? My answer is going to be minus 80. I move on to question number 7. What does it say in question number 7? The region bounded by the x-axis and y, okay, is shaded in the diagram below. So when I look at my diagram, I see that I don't have any boundaries except from 0 till 4. So I just need to do my integration from 0 until 4. What do I need to integrate now? I have my region bounded by the x-axis and this over here. So my integration should be for this over here. So x cubed over 4 minus 2x 3 over 2. Now I need to do the integration of this. How do I do the integration of this? It's gonna be x3 plus 1 over 4 times 3 plus 1, okay, minus 2x 3 over 2 plus 1 over 3 over 2. Oops, my bad. I cannot write 2. 3 over 2. Let me just erase this. 3 over 2 plus 1. So after integration, I would get x to the power of 4 over 4 times 4, which is 16, minus 2x, 2 times x, what's that? 2x, 3 over 2 plus 1, how much is that? That's going to be 5 over 2, minus 2x 5 over 2, over what? Over 5 over 2. You can simplify it if you want. You can always simplify it if you want. Don't forget to put the brackets over here. But if you don't want to simplify it and you just want to solve, you can also do that. I have my boundaries 4 and 0. If I substituted 4 in the equation, what would I get as an answer? 4 to the power of 4 over 16 minus 2. Don't forget, of course, your brackets. Minus 2 times 4 to the power of 5 over 2 divided by what? Divided by 5 over 2. Do not forget your brackets. It would ruin everything if you forgot your brackets. And because we are dealing with the area, do not forget whatever your answer is in the end to put it in absolute value. So now you don't put any absolute value. It's minus 48 over 5, right? And if I substituted 0, what would I get? If I substituted 0 in the same equation, I would get 0. But just to double check, you would get 0. So if you substituted 0, you would get 0. Add them together, you will get minus 48 over 5. This is my area, but I put it in absolute value. So now it's what? It's 48 over 5, and very simply I have the value of k. We'll move on to question number 8. What does it say in question number 8? They want, okay, this is very easy. A very easy way to do this is what? Is 5 minus 2. What will I get? I would get 3. 3 times 10 will give me 30. This is one very easy way to do it. Another way to do it would be to do 5 times 10, which is 50, minus 2 times 10, which is 20, and this would give me what? This would give me 30. So both ways you do them, they're correct, and you would get the same answer. We move on to question number 9. Okay, these are very important questions. I think I remember one of these questions. I messed up similar to it last time. I apologize for that. I'm not gonna mess up this time, okay? So the area of the region enclosed by the curves y equals 2x squared plus 1 and y is equal to minus 2x plus 1 is k square units. Pay attention, it's enclosed by this curve and this curve. What is the value of k? So what we need to do now is we need to find the intersection. How do we make the intersection? How do we find the intersection? We need to make them equal to each other. So 2x squared plus 1 is equal to minus 2x plus 1. Bring this to the other side. 2x squared plus 2x is equal to 0. So when you do mode 5, 3, you have 2, 2, and 0. You would get your two roots to be what? X is equal to minus 1 and x is equal to 0. Perfect. Now I have the value of my two roots. What do? I need to do the integration, but it's gonna be y2 minus y1. Now, here is where it's the important part. My integration has boundaries, and what are these boundaries? These boundaries are my intersections from 0 until minus 1. So now, what will my solving look like? I will first of all need to subtract them. So basically 2x. So, I'm going to subtract them, and what will I get? I will get 2x squared plus 2x, and I need to do the integration of this, and we don't forget the 0 and minus 1. Let's do the integration of this just to begin with. It's going to be 2 over 3 when you do the integration. 2 over 3 x cubed. I can do it very quickly now. You guys should be able to solve it like that, okay? Plus what? Plus x squared, okay? This is what my integration looks like. Now, we don't forget, because we are dealing with the area, you need to put it in absolute value. But, of course, absolute value is the final answer. Not when you're solving the final answer, you put it in absolute value. So, 2 over 3, 0 cubed, plus 0 squared. We subtract it from what? Or we subtract from it what? We subtract from it minus 1. So, 2 over 3. Minus 1 cubed plus minus 1 squared, okay? Now, whatever answer I get, I'm going to put it in absolute value. So, it's going to be 0 minus 2 over 3 times minus 1 cubed plus minus 1 squared. And I would get what? I would get minus 1 over 3, but don't forget it's an absolute value. So, it's going to be what? It's going to be 1 over 3. So, my area, or like my final answer, is what? Is 1 over 3. We'll move on to question number 10. What does it say in question number 10? They want the integration of this. So we need to do integration of 70x squared radical x dx. Now this is very simply, how do we solve it? First of all, you get rid of the dx. Okay, actually don't get rid of it. You get rid of the radical. You change it into a fraction. So now it's 70x squared x 1 over 2. You're multiplying two things with the same base, x and x. So what do you do with the exponents? You're going to add. So it's going to be 70x, 2 plus half, which will give me what? What's 2 plus half? It will give me 5 over 2 dx, and don't forget the integration. Now what do? After I integrate it, okay, it's going to be what? It's going to be 70x, 5 over 2 plus 1 over 5 over 2 plus 1, right? So what's going to happen? This will become 7 over 2. And this will also become 7 over 2. Now, 70x 7 over 2 times 2 over 7. If you don't know how we did it, we did keep, change, flip, okay? So times 2 over 7. You cancel the 70 and 7. You get 10 over here. 10 times 2 is what? 10 times 2 is 20. So now it's what? It's 20x 7 over 2. And you don't forget the plus c. Okay, perfect. Now, what do? We need to expand it. We don't like to keep it as an improper fraction. So I'm gonna just put on my calculator 7 over 2. I'm gonna click on equal, and then I will do shift SD. Once I do it, I will get 3.5. So basically 7 over 2 is the same as 3.5. So it's gonna be 20x to the power of 3, and x half. What's half of x? It's a radical x plus c. So this is what? This is my final answer. We'll move on to question number 11. What does it say in question number 11? We also need to do the integration of this. A very easy way would be directly to divide everything. So integration of 300 divided by 150x squared plus 12x, okay? After doing integration, it's going to be 150x cubed over 3 plus 12x squared over 2 plus c. So 6x squared and then 50x cubed. And this is your answer. We'll move on to question number 12. What does it say in question number 12? We need to do the integration of this. Again, you can move it upwards. So integration of 120x to the power of minus 4 dx. So when you do the integration of this, what do you get? It's going to be 120x minus 4 plus 1 over minus 4 plus 1. So 120 over minus 3, x minus 3. So minus 40x minus 3, don't forget, plus c. And this is the final answer. We'll move on to question number 13. Consider the curve C that represents the graph of the function f given by y equals fx equal blah blah blah. They want increasing, decreasing, blah blah blah. As you can see, they already gave us the first derivative. Now they made our lives much easier. We can get the roots. So you make everything equal to 0. 3 equals 0, x minus 2 equals 0, x plus 6 equals 0. This doesn't make sense. It goes bye-bye. X equals 2, x equals minus 6. So my two roots are 2 and minus 6. Minus 6 goes here because it's closer to the minus infinity. And then plus 2 goes here because it's closer to the plus infinity. Now, I need to apply what? I need to apply the table of variation rule. I'll choose a number smaller than minus 6, right? For example, I choose minus 8, a number in between minus 6 and 2, for example, 0, a number greater than 2, for example, 5, and I substitute it where? In the derivative. So 3 times minus 8 minus 2 times minus 8 plus 6, this would give me a positive answer. If I put instead of minus 8, 0, this would give me a negative answer. And if I put instead of 0, 5, I would get a positive answer. So it's increasing, decreasing, increasing. Perfect. Now, it's increasing for any value of x that's less than 6 or greater than 2. And it's decreasing for any value, sorry, this is less than minus 6. And it's decreasing for any value in between minus 6 and 2. It has a local maximum at minus 6. And what's its value there? How do I find that out? I take minus 6 and substitute it in the original equation. I will get an answer of 256. And it has a local minimum at x is 2. Because look, this is the maximum. This is my minimum, right? So this is the minimum. And what's its value there? If you substitute it over here, you will get the answer to be what? To be 0. We'll move on to question number 14. What does it say? A curve for which the second derivative is 6x minus 18 has a stationary point at 2, 3. The equation of the curve is y equals x cubed minus 9x squared plus 24x minus 17. Now, how did they get this? Very simply, they gave us the double derivative. With this and some extra information about stationary point at 2, 3, I can find it very easily. First of all, I take my first integration. I integrate 6x minus 18 for the first time. I would get 3x squared minus 18x plus c. How do I find the value of c? Very simply, we know that the first derivative, when I substitute my stationary point, I'm supposed to get 0. So my stationary point is at 2, 3. So if I substitute 2 in my first derivative, I'm supposed to get an answer of 0. So 3 times 2 squared minus 18 times 2 plus c is equal to 0, right? So I would get the value of c to be equal to what? To be equal to 24. Now, I need to do integration for what? I need to do integration for 3x squared minus 18x plus 24 plus, I need to do the integration of this. So let's do the integration of this. It is gonna be x cubed minus 9x squared. I'm doing all of this mentally because it's easy to do. Plus 24x plus c is equal to what? I have my point on the curve originally to be 2, 3. So, oh my goodness, I moved up. How do I move down? Here we go. So I have my point on the curve to be originally 2, 3. If I substituted 2 here, I'm supposed to get an answer of 3. So 2 cubed minus 9 times 2 squared plus 24 times 2 plus c is equal to 3. So what will I get as an answer? I got 20 plus c is equal to 3. So c is equal to what? C is equal to minus 17. And there we go, minus 17. Perfect. Now, what do I have here? I want the x-coordinate for the point of the local minimum and the local maximum. In order to do that, I take my second derivative, which is my first derivative, my bad, which is 3x squared minus 18x plus 24. And I find my two possible roots. What are my two possible roots? I put it on my calculator, mode 5, 3 minus 18 and 24, I get 4 and 2. So 2 and 4. If I substitute a number smaller than 2, I will get a positive answer. Number in between 2 and 4, I would get a negative answer. And a number greater than 4, I would get a positive answer. So this goes up, goes down, goes up. Means I have my local minimum at 4 and my local maximum at 2. Okay, so this is it for question 14. We'll move on to question 15. What does it say? Given that fx is blah, 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 it passes through which point? Through the point 120. Find an expression for fx in terms of x only and use it to fill in the blank. They want f of 4. So we need to find the expression of fx, right? And what do we need to do? And we need to substitute x by 4. So we need to do the integration of this. Our very first step is to do the integration of this. Integration of 4 radical x, I'll bring it up, x to the power of minus half, plus 10x to the power of 4. Do the integration. So it's gonna be plus 1 minus 1 over 2 plus 1 plus 1, 4 plus 1. So this is gonna be 4x to the power of half divided by half, 10x to the power of 5 over 5. So this will end up being 2x5. And this would end up being 8x to the power of half. Okay, so, and also don't forget what? Don't forget the plus c. Now what does this mean? This means when I substitute 1 in this equation, I will get my value to be what? To be 20. So I can very simply find the value of c. So 8 times 1 to the power of half plus 2 times 1 to the power of 5. Okay, plus c is equal to 20. So 10 plus c is equal to 20. That means c is equal to what? C is equal to 10. That means my equation is 8x to the power of half plus 2x to the power of 5 plus 10. Now what do? I substitute 4 over here. So if I did substitute 4, what would I get as an answer? I would get 2074 as my answer. We'll move on now to question number 16. What does it say? Again, we need to do the integration of this. Very simple, very easy. Just I don't want my tablet to lag right now. So integration of 49x squared radical x. Directly you change it. I don't like to see it like this. So x to the power of half. Both of them have the same base. You add the exponents together. So you need to do the integration of 49x to the power of what? Of 2 plus half. What's 2 plus half? That's going to be 5 over 2. Now, when you do the integration, it's going to be what? It's going to be 5 over 2 plus 1 over 5 over 2 plus 1, right? So 5 over 2 plus 1, that's going to be 7 over 2. 49x 7 over 2 over 7 over 2. So now I need to simplify. When you do keep change flip, it's going to be 49x 7 over 2 times 2 over 7. 7 and 49 cancel. You have 7. And then 7 times 2, that's going to be 14. 14x 7 over 2, don't forget the plus c. When you simplify this, you can go on your calculator 7 over 2. And what would you get? You would get it to be 3.5. So 7 over 2 is improper. As a next number, it's 3.5. So x3, x half, change x half into how it was, so radical x. So 14x3 radical x plus c, this is my final answer. We'll move on now to question number 17. Fill in the blank with a whole number. The area of region enclosed by this and this. Very simply, I can see over here, like in the graph, they gave me my boundaries. This is my first boundary, and this is my second boundary. So it's from 0 to 4. Now what do I need to do? I need to do y1 minus y2 or y2 minus y1. It does not matter. Oh, I hit my calculator on the table. So I need to do integration of 4, 0, y1 minus y2. Perfect. So what can I do? I can do integration 4, 0 y1, for example, I'll choose this y1, this is y2, x cubed minus 16x, right? So first of all, I'm gonna do the integration as if I'm doing a regular integration of this. So it's gonna be x over 4, x to the power of 4 over 4, minus 8x squared. Now what do? I substitute 1 times 4, 1 times 0. I subtract and I put the answer in absolute value. So 4 to the power of 4 over 4 minus 8 times 4 to the power of 2, I would get my answer minus 64. If I put 0, it's 0, so minus 64 minus 0 minus 64. Don't forget to put it in absolute value. So my area is minus 64 in absolute value, which is 64. We'll move on to question number 18. So question 18, fill in the blank with the correct integer. So here we need to do the integration. Once we integrate, oh, it's 1 over 4, 1 over 2, okay. We first need to integrate 2 over x to the power of 5, so you'll bring it up, it will be 2x to the power of minus 5. So once you do the integration, plus 1 minus 5 plus 1, you're gonna get what? You're gonna get minus 4 minus 4. 2 over minus 4 is what? Is minus half. Now you don't need to put plus c. Why? Because you have boundaries. If you have boundaries, there's no need to put plus c. Now, what's my only solution? Okay, so now what are we gonna do? We're gonna put 1 times 1 over 4, 1 times 1 over 2, and then we're gonna subtract. So minus 1 over 2 times 1 over 4 to the power of minus 4 minus 1 over 2 times 1 over 2 to the power of minus 4. You put it on the calculator and you will get your answer to be minus 120. Now, for the second one, this one is very, 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 very important. So now we need to do what? We need to do the integration of the second one. So we need to do integration of 25x to the power of 4, x5 plus 1 to the power of 4. So now, and we have the x, don't forget. We need to do the integration of this. You change this into u. It will make your life so much easier. Okay, so 25x to the power of 4 times u times the x. I don't like the x. If I have u, I don't like the x. I need to get rid of the x. How do I get the x? The x is equal to du over the derivative. So I take the derivative of what? Of the u, right? So that means the x would be what? It would be du over the derivative, which is 5x4. Perfect. So du over 5x4. I cancel x4 and x4. I cancel 5 and 25. So I'm left with 5 times u to the power of 4 times du. So then, what do? I substitute u by what? By x to the power of 5 plus 1 to the power of 4. Now, one time I substitute 1, one time I substitute minus 1, and then I see what my answer is. So if I substituted 1, I would get as my answer, I would get, oh my goodness, stop, I forgot to do the integration. I cannot substitute, my bad. I need to do the integration. So this becomes 4 plus 1, 5, and then this becomes over 4 plus 1, which is 5. So 5 and 5 cancel. And now I'm left with x5 plus 1 to the power of 5. So when I substitute, I will get 2 to the power of 5, which is 32, plus 0 to the power of 5, which is 0. So 32 plus 0, this would give me my answer to be what? To be 32. So my answer is 32. We move on to question number 19. You're enclosed by this curve, the x-axis and the lines x1 and x2. Perfect. Here is a perfect example. When you try to find the roots of these, you will see that they're imaginary numbers. So directly, I go to this, and I'm like, okay, you are now what? You are now my roots, you're now my boundaries. So now my boundaries from 2 till 1, you need to do integration of 3x squared plus 2x plus 4. So this becomes 2 plus 1, 3 over 2 plus 1, 3. 1 plus 1, 2 over this, and then this. So now we're left with 2 integration of 2, 1, x to the power of 3 plus x squared plus 4x. Perfect. Now if I substitute 2, I would get 20. If I substituted 1, what would I get? I would get 6. Now, you do 2 minus 1 because it's always up minus down. And you'd get your answer, which is what? Which is 14 square units. Now, the last and final answer, I think I messed up on this one, my bad. Let me explain this properly. The area enclosed by the curve, the x-axis and the line, x is equal to 4. So here we may need to plot a little bit, okay? So let us kind of plot what we're dealing with over here. We have our graph like this. We have 6x squared minus 12x. It's a parabola. So what will I do in this scenario? I will find the intersection points of the parabola. I will do mod 5, 3. I will do 6x squared minus 12 and then 0. So I have my intersection points being at 2 and 0. So an intersection point here, an intersection point here. So this is what my parabola looks like. Then we have the x-axis. What's my x-axis? This is my x-axis. And then the line, the line x is equal to 4. So if this is 2, then I'm going to say that this is what this is 4. Now, I don't think it's kind of really visible. So let me put 4 over here, right? And let me extend this parabola. So as you can see, the blue line, the green line, and the red line, they all make the area of their intersection, which is this over here. So now my boundary is from where? It's from 2 until where? Until 4. This is where my boundary is now. It's not 0, it's not 2, it's not 4 only, it's not 0 till 4, it's not 0 till 2, it's not 0 till 2 till 4, no. It's only 2 till 4. Now, what do? I put my function. I do the integration of it. So, 2x cubed minus 6x squared. What do I substitute now? I substitute 4 and 2. So 2 times 4 cubed minus 6 times 4 squared. This would give me 32. Minus, if I put 2 now, 2 times 2 cubed minus 6 times 2 squared. This would give me minus 8. 32 minus 8 would give me what? Would give me 40. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful